Friends, Nifty analysis today. Let's begin with what we spoke yesterday. This was the most important candle that is formed. It had taken support here on this cusp. Now, when I say cusp, means the most important point where it could move upside or downside. On the downside, there are prospects of price touching 21,530, 21,191. We had this candle which was coming, and this candle gave a range. What is a candle like this with this very small body? It provides a kind of a range. There's a range movement inside, right? So the high of this, which was 21,920, right, and the low of which was 21,710, formed a kind of a range which needed a breakout, either downside or upside, right? So that is what the situation was. It had a level 22,123, 22,123, 22,123, which is acting like a stubborn resistance. Today, when it opened higher, it got into this range, the range of these two candles. So it got locked in the range of these two candles, but could not go closer to 22,123. Rather, it got stuck to this IC candle, which again is a range. It's a range. So it was stuck in this range, which was a previous range earlier also, between this point and this point. Wherever there are these small body candles, which we called as indecision candles, there is indecision. There is no decisive moment here. There is no decisive moment here. There is no decisive moment here. There was no decisive moment here, but it gave a breakout. Now, whenever a breakout occurs, it comes out of this indecision. An indecision that relates to decisive behavior in the form of a momentum candle is a trend. Now, this indecisiveness did not give the form of full body candle, which would say it is a momentum candle. So, although we have moved higher, we have just moved to the next level. And that's what was happening today, that we moved to the next level. Generally, also, it should be noted that whenever you have this kind of IC candle, and when you have a gap up, there was a gap up here. There is a gap up here because the high and the low has left a kind of a small gap here, right? So maybe I again try to show you this thing. There is a gap left here, right? So there is a gap here, which if you want, I can depict it by like this, and there is a kind of a gap here. This is a gap, right? So in a way, this gap is good. It also says that there is some direction that has come, but it is indecisive. It does not have the strength, right? So whenever you have a gap up also, those days do not have a very strong trend. There is a tendency to stay sideways during the day. That's a point which you should always have it at the back of your mind, that a gap up means that day you may not have that much of momentum. So here we got caught between this IC, where this breakout gave an out of range trading to a momentum candle here. Now today the same level, Nifty is held within that level, right? So in a way, we move from here, we move to this next level, but we have to cross this big 22,123 level, which is here, right? 22,123 level. You know, this is the red line which I have drawn. it has to be crossed upside, and there are two candles here which are having the same values, 22,123. Now this generally crossover occurs again with a gap up. So it is likely that tomorrow, if it has to cross above this level, and if you see at 907 open a value above 22,123, be sure that you are going to move from 22,123 to 22,257 and take the benefit of a good trade. Okay, so 22,123 to 22,257 could be a likely good trade up till this level, up till this level, up till this line which I have drawn. And if it moves further, then be sure that you will move from 22,257 to 22,431. Okay, because this is a long body, and the long body generally allows free flow in the body. The price moves in the body, provided it is not obstructed by the IC low or a high. Here the obstruction is this IC low, which is at 22,257. Right, the value of this low is 22,257. It will be an obstruction tomorrow. If you move up further above this, it will get obstructed, or a pause. It need not be an obstruction, but a pause. If there is momentum, we call it as a pause. There is a small pause, and then again it will move up to 22,431. So this is one stage likely. Now next is, if at all again we open below this range, that is 22,930, this range, 22,930 range, right? And I said 22,710 of this range, then it will go further down here and stop here for a moment, and then it will move into this lower zone of 21,930 and 21,710. There is a likely trade value which is around 22,766, which comes from this level, 22,766, which comes from this level, right? So this is which is possible. Now let me go to the line charts. Line charts, as I said, are good to take overnight positions, right? So here is the line chart movement. It tallies with this moves, right? Now today what has happened is, we were here on this point, right? On this point we were here, right? We were here. Okay. From there, we were our low was here. This low meets tallies with this low, 21,737 around, and this high also tallies with this high, wherever this level is, right? This level comes from this level. If I draw a line here, okay, from this level, you will see that you will meet here. Okay, everything is a work of art, even in price. There is no randomness. People argue that price is random. I don't agree with that. If you relate it well, you will find that it is not random, right? So today, if you see on closing on the intraday, it stopped here, it stopped here. The wave says that if I have to change the course or the direction, I will have to cross over this level, 22,217 on closing basis. So till you do that, that is tomorrow's closing is about 22,217, then we can start to think that we are going to move upside. But the final confirmation will come when you see a closing above this lower high of 22,332. So this is what is the line chart analysis. And if we move below by any chance, then we have a support at 21,522. Please take max advantage if you see a value below this 21,737, that is below this 21,710 on intraday. If you see any value, see that you take a trade up to 21,530 and benefit from it. Now let me tell you and show you how the intraday progress occurs. Actually, there's a lot of fun in intraday, right? So in intraday, if you really see what happened today and what happened a few days yesterday. In yesterday's case, if I go to 5 minute chart, right, like this, okay, we were here yesterday. Yesterday we were here. There was a support that was taken on the previous high of line chart, which is always good, and then shot up. It met resistance here, and again it went up and took support of this line. You can see the intraday movement of the candle came and stopped here, and then it started to move up, and then it started to move up. Then again it came down in a descending format, but met with again a resistance at this level. This is a general way how you should look at the intraday. Now here it had left a kind of gap, okay, which is very important, so that you must understand such gaps. Now, what is a gap in line chart? A gap in line chart is where there is a high and the low which never meets. This is an indicator of momentum, that the wave is in momentum. Okay. Similarly, here we are seeing today that price dropped, but it did not touch this high. And then it has moved up, leaving no overlap here between the high and the low, right? So again here, there is a partial higher momentum strength here lying within this wave, okay? But it could not cross this level. It could not cross this level. This lows before the lower high are always the resistance line. The low, this is the low before the lower high, is always a resistance line. Similarly, those lows are here, these lows are here. The low over here is a resistance line. So tomorrow what we have to see is whether we are going to move up. We are already moved up, actually, from one zone to the next zone, but it is forming indecision, range-based trading from one level to the other level. As a result, it is very stealth. Stealth means छुप छुप के हो रहा है ये. इसका underneath हो सकता है. It might be that it is bullish. Thank you. I hope you enjoy my explanations. And if you can, and if you wish to understand this, you can always join the Nimblr course. Nimblr course is amazing. I mean, I can assure you, you will feel at some moment, why have you done all the other courses? Hope so. Thank you.